This is Meri at TheMeriAtelier, and I am continuing to work on my March journal page painting. I've done a little bit to it since you've seen it. This morning I was working on it, and I was just drawing in this ironwork frame in here. And Dee Dee Willingham was about ready to come on, so I stopped. And then I got the bright idea to use my fine line paint applicator, and I highlighted these shamrocks, and I let those dry. I've just come in with the vertical lines, and I did do that with my fine line paint applicator and my ruler. Now, I to Tanya and Jeri and Lisa while I'm doing this. They are doing the next installment of their bank book project. However, they are collaging pages, and I'm working on mine a page at a time, so I'm going to listen to their entire video, and then I'll just continue working on mine, maybe in another standalone project stream. We will see. So I'm talking to you with my mouth. And what I'm doing is I'm using some of this green craft paint. This is green craft paint, apple barrel, spring green, and I'm just kind of lightly putting in a wash. So you can lightly see what's behind here, but not entirely. So, yeah. Be happy with that. And I'm also taking it and doing a light green. A light green, just kind of around this ironwork, because I don't want it to be a bright, bright white, and I don't want it to be a dull black. So, and I'm not even sure that you can, well, yeah, I guess you are. I'm seeing it more than you are. Here, the green. It's more, I think I'm thinking of more of a reflection of the green around here. And you can see it more. If I would zoom in, you could see it more. And the same way with this. Now, this should be dry by now. And you could probably see it more on this wide piece. I'm just giving it a wash of a green, as if you were visiting Ireland and everything in the landscape was starting to look green. What I really want, though, is a taste of spring. I want a taste of spring on my page, my journal page, because we are all welcoming spring. So I'm just going to continue to use this, and I'll probably just kind of get some wash on my brush, and I'm only coming in on the shamrocks. And we decided this morning that shamrocks have 3 leaves and clovers have 4. And when I was drawing out the model, which I'm really glad I drew this out first before I put it on my painting, I'm really glad that I did that, because I really did have it laid out. And I did that a couple times before I got it like I wanted it. And I'm glad I did that first. And also by putting green up here in this shamrock, it's going to bring that cloud out more. It's fairly dark up in this corner, because the reference photo that I used was fairly dark. This is, you can see there's a rainbow coming up here, and it sort of peaks out there and ends over here. And I think I'm going to leave it that way. I think at this point, if I go messing that up too much, I will not be happy with it in the end. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm just going in here and putting a wash of green over my white areas here, because I don't want them bold, a white bold color either. So that's really sort of what I'm doing. And to tell you the truth, I'm very happy with this the way it is. I may just let this green dry, and I want to cut it out. You can see where these black lines are is where I'm going to cut this. And I'm going to cut it out and turn it over and paint it on the back. And I will probably paint it this spring green craft color. And I might sign it down here before this is my right side over here. So I've been having a lot of fun. Sherry Lynn sent me this canvas, and I want to say canvas paper, but I do not even think this is canvas paper. She sent me an entire canvas pad, and if it's a paper, it's a high quality paper. It's very nice. It almost feels like a fabric. So I'm very happy with it. And I'm going to be using it to do all of my journals covers for the rest of 2019. It had 10 sheets, and I used my own in January, so that's 11, and I have another from the other half of what I did in January. I have enough for every month this year. Oh, I am loving this. I really am loving this. I wish you could see the hint of green on here. I'm just going to continue to put that on here, I believe. It's just sort of a wash. I think that's all I want to do. I think I'm just going to go ahead and I got my Sharpie pen here. Oh, wait, no, I see some. I missed this up here. I missed the top up here. Let's do this. I'm just kind of muting down this bright white with the green. And I might see some later on. As I work during the year, during the month of March, I might see something more that I want to do to this. But I'm very happy with it. This is a rural landscape. And this is kind of I had this all in black in here. But I didn't like it because it wasn't popping. And after I put that white on there, I'm really liking the white. And now I'm just kind of muting the white down with some green. Just sort of a green wash. Put a green wash in here over these shamrocks. You can still see the fields, but it's just kind of a wash in here. I'm very happy with this. Maybe up in here a little. I am very happy with this. Yeah, I'm not quite done though. I think I'm done, and then I see some I missed. So I'm just going to, yeah, I think just like that, maybe even. Let's get a little freer, Meri. Let's not be so, I'm not trying to be a perfectionist with this. And that's what I kept saying this morning. But I'll tell you, when I looked at where I started this morning and where I wound up this morning, my, how that picture grew. How that picture grew, this landscape grew over the course of just a couple hours. I think I'm happy with that. Can you see the green kind of popping out in here now? Yeah. Let's do this a bit more in here. Let's just bring it out. Maybe that's too much. Yeah. I think I'm happy with it. Now I got a lot of green paint up here in the corner. I'm going to go ahead and sign this first. This is a Sharpie pen. And this is February the 27th, 2019. I just sign it right down in there. Now, this was not how I envisioned it when I very first started. I envisioned this as being a stained glass. I think I envisioned more. of a lead work. But as I got working with it this morning, I'm going, no, I want more of an iron work. Yeah, I'm happy with it. Now I've got some green paint up in there. Let's get my dictionary out. And let's go to a page. This is my page from this morning. Let's just smear this paint on here. Let's give it some pretty green with maybe my other brush. Lift this paint off and put it on here. Yeah. Okie dokie. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'll put my dictionary down on the floor, let it dry. And I think I'm going to paint the back side of this entirely green. And while I'm doing that, let's see, should I let it dry? Let's blow dry it a little. Let's blow dry it. I have my ears on with Jeri, Lisa, and Tanya. They're busy showing us what they're doing to their bank book. I like to listen to videos while I work too. I may get out my bank book and after I get the back side of this painted and work on my bank book. If I do that, I'll stop this video and start another one and maybe show both of them. Yeah, I'm happy with this. Okay, let's take off the masking tape. Now I might need my knife to do that. My utility knife. Just to kind of lift it up here. Because it is painted down, I believe. The tape is. And it might pull some of my black lines. But that's okay too. Look at that. Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? Wow. That's cool. I'm going to throw that away. This will all be this will be extra. I'll probably keep it and put it in maybe my scrap journal or something. Let's pull this up. Oh, this is just fun. Let's put my ruler away here. And this morning I got it kind of torn up here. Let's take this piece off. There. And take this off. Come on. I really taped it down. I didn't want it to roll up on me, and I'm going to turn it upside down and tape it down again. But I'm going to paint the entire thing. Yeah. Here comes the top of it. Whoops. Well, that's okay too, because I'll be cutting this. Now, let's pull the tape up here. And I folded it over on the cover. Let's take this off. What's going on there? I got more tape down here at the bottom. Yeah. Oh, maybe I can get a hold of this over here. I should probably use the painter's tape. I use masking tape. But that's good. That's good. It doesn't look like it's come up over here. Looks like I still have some tape to pull over here. There we go. And I probably still have a little over here to pull, but I'm not going to worry about this because that's all margin. What I want to do is turn this upside down. And I'm going to take this down again, but I'm going to paint this entire thing a pretty spring green, I think. So let's get my masking tape out. It doesn't have to be straight because I'll be cutting. I will be cutting it out. Yeah, let's fold this under a bit though. Right here. Tear that off. And fold that under. Now, tape that down and tape this down. There we go. Now we can have fun with this green. I might mix some blue into it, but let's get out my brush. And let's do the green here. This will help me use up all this paint. I have a lot of this craft paint that I need to use up before it goes bad on me. And this is a good way to do it. Now the front side I do need, after this gets dry and after I cut it out, I will be varnishing it with some clear coat, varnish, ceramic coat. Ew. I don't know, 2 ounces of paint. I might need more green here. I should put it all in here first because it's, you can hear it's getting empty. I'm going to turn it upside down. Let's get this done. And it doesn't matter if it wrinkles a little on me. Let's get this all painted in here first, and then the margin, if the margin doesn't get painted, that's okay. I'll have plenty. I will have plenty. It's March. It's spring. Yes, bring on spring. No bad weather, though. We tend to get tornadoes here in Nebraska. And Florida and the southeast. Down in Texas, they get hurricanes. We get tornadoes. And they generally start, well, they can start as early as March and they could last clear through until October. It's kind of unusual to have an October tornado, but if the weather's weird, let's get some more paint in here. Up in here. Up in here. Let's just use it all. And I'll show you what I do with these paint tubes. these paint bottles. You could save the caps if you want. But after I get as much as I can, and I'm squeezing out as much as I can here, but I do take my Tim Holtz scissors, which I'm really hard on my Tim Holtz scissors, but I cut this in half. Whoops, that's not my Tim Holtz ones. And they're down here further. Here we go. Tim Holtz cuts a lot of strong things like plastic paint bottles. But then I'll take my paint bottle and my brush and I'll get every last drop out of that before I throw it away. And yeah, you can put water in there and make a spray. I generally don't make acrylic paint sprays, or you can put water in there and make a wash. But this is what I do to use it up, because there's still a lot of paint in here. Let's just use it all. Oops, it's coming off on my hand. Let's get more of it out. Let's paint this a pretty spring green for March. Just smooth it all out. Now you could use a credit card to do this, but since I am going on a canvas, I do kind of prefer a brush. I don't know, there's something about a brush, and my brush is not a big one. I could have a wider brush, but this one I use for everything. It's my go-to brush, and it's just continuing to hold up on me. I get some of that paint off of the edge of it there. Now I could use my heat gun and dry this, and I might do that. Let's get some more paint out here. Look, see, there's still more. You use every last drop of it. Throw that away now. Yeah, I want to get my journal done for March. I'll just sweep it across here. I didn't have very many ooey gooey clumps of paint in here. I got a few, but I think I've painted them out a little there. If I can brush it off. A couple little. All right, let's get that one off. Let's go ahead and dry this with my heat gun. Ooh, I love that color. Isn't that a pretty green? Spring green. Let's go ahead and dry this. Because I really do want to cut this apart and then get that cover. And craft paint does dry pretty fast with the heat gun. This is just craft paint. A couple little clumps in here, but those are way out on the margin. It doesn't really bother me. You're kind of seeing shadow in here. It comes from my paint brushes and my water jug. Yes, this dries pretty fast. It's still wet though. You know it's dry when it doesn't shine anymore. Like this is dry, pretty dry in there. This is wet. I can tell just by looking at the light. I can see it's wet, shiny, wet. Nothing. Well, it's still pretty wet in there. I think I'll set this aside and let it air dry. And I'll save my cap. It'll be good for something sometime. I'm going to let this air dry and wash my hands. And then I think I'll start another video and work on my bank book project. So I will see you on the next page.